Welcome to the Personal Finance Podcast for Doctors. This podcast aims to simplify all aspects of personal finance and helps you make smart and informed choices about money so that you can live happier and stress-free lives. Today's episode is brought to you by Chanda Varma, who is a financial coach and vice president with the doctor practice at MFA, the only company in India having a dedicated practice for doctors.
I was invited by a very dear doctor client of mine for a social get-together this Saturday. It was fun. Of course, but knowing that I'm in the field that I am and that I work very closely with doctors, the most expected question was asked by all the doctors there. Is the market too high to invest? The Sensex is at 70,000. Too high, na? How to invest at this high? Now, even if you haven't asked this question, chances are that this thought might have come across your mind. If it hasn't, a big pat on your back. But let me address this with some counter questions. Why do you say it's high? Didn't you feel the same when it was at 45,000 level and then at 50,000 level and then at 60,000 level? Well, as I understand, when I've spoken to most people, the doctors there told me, we personally waited for a long time for a major correction. Even when some corrections happened, not all of us invested. So I guess it is the fear that held us back. We kept seeing new highs being made, and every high made us even more fearful that this is going to burst. So you see, I completely understand where you all are coming from. It's just human to feel this. Every high the stock market makes, we feel that this is the ultimate high. But sooner or later, there is yet another new high. And this is one of the ultimate universal truths of the stock market. They will make a high at some point in time. This may be made over months, years, or even decades. Do you by any chance remember how you felt when the Sensex was at 10,000? Then 12,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, till as we stand here today. You know, the BSE benchmark scale 40,000 just about, I think, in May 2019, before COVID. The 50,000 mark was reached in Jan 2021. And so was the 60,000 mark, showing the resilience of the market even amid the COVID-19 devastation. So despite all these feelings and worries, the stock market moves with volatility in between. While we might be worried today about the 70,000 levels, the truth is we will all forget about it once the Sensex hits 1 lakh and then 2 lakh and then maybe 5 lakh someday. Because at that point of time, we will be fixated on the new high of the season. And the Sensex will hit these numbers over the next several decades. It's just that no one knows when. The important question that you have to ask yourself is, are you investing for the next 5,000 points, which is maybe about 6 to 7% from current levels? Or are you investing for the Sensex at 2 lakh or 5 lakh? What are you investing for? Now, if you're investing for the next 6-7%, then don't, because it means you have a very short-term horizon. Anything can happen in the short term. Investing in the stock market should be done for a long-term perspective, decades. However, if you are investing for Sensex at 2 lakh, at 5 lakh, 7 lakh, which I know somewhere we all are, then there is nothing to worry, even if it goes down in the short run. Because if you stay invested all the way, you get to capture the marvelous, asymmetric upside of the stock market. A point to note here is that there is nothing that the stock market has not overcome. Global financial crisis, global pandemic, oil and inflation shocks, debt crisis, wars. The important thing is to ride this journey. It's not whether you predicted the fall correctly. As you may have experienced, it's useless to correctly predict that the market will go down and then not invest when it goes down. It's far smarter to invest and stay invested through corrections and the crashes and keep investing if you have the surplus money and the need. The problem with us, many of us, is that we are unclear about the purpose of this game. Are we guessing just to prove that we are smart? and in the short term we are right? Or are we all trying to make hard-earned money work for us by being long-term in the right sense for the long term? Now we all know what I am saying is right in our heads, but it gets scary. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that scary doesn't mean bad. Quite the opposite. I've learned to associate fear with good things to come: growth, excitement, self-improvement. Fear, it turns out, comes before all the most awesome things we've ever done. And considering that, shouldn't fear be something we may want more in our lives in a good way? So it's time to stop thinking of fear as a stop sign and look at it as fuel. Worrying endlessly about something that may or may not happen in the future doesn't help. But planning for what to do if that thing comes to pass does. And you don't have to do this alone. In fact, you shouldn't do this alone. The guidance and wisdom of a caring financial professional is invaluable. And that's it. You probably not need to worry about any scenario anymore because you have that person to come between you and your worries. So next time you find yourself in one of those cycles of worry, remember, in investing, what is comfortable is rarely profitable. I hope this helps. Keep listening in. See you next time.
You were listening to the Personal Finance Podcast for Doctors with Chanda Varma. If you find this podcast relevant and interesting, do share it with other doctors as well. It will be great if you leave a review, share, like and subscribe. You could also let us know if there is any specific topic that you would like us to cover. For any queries or help, you can get in touch with MFA's Doctor Practice Team at 892-800-6140.